He wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing on you. Yeah. I've been locked down, don't start no trouble with me. Tryna social distance is a struggle for me. Got us quarantined, ain't no cuddling for me. You know how I like it, take your mask off of me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. I ain't vaccinated, that they wishing on me. If you got the jab, you ain't outliving me. They rigged the election and that's really plain to see. Biden's plan, Biden's plan. Take over for Hillary, ayy. This Obama part 3, He finesse all them dead votes, ayy. Might go down as Fraud UD, ayy, ayy. And Kamala is the devil, but I'm on another level. And still, bad things. There's a lot of bad things that he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing on you. Yeah. Bad things. There's a lot of bad things that he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing on you. Hey, hey, hey. She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love Kamala and Hillary. I'm sorry, voted Trump because a young nigga feeling self. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. And you know me, gas prices twice as high as 03, y'all. Without Obama, you wouldn't understand. Taliban taking over Afghanistan. Biden's plan, Biden's plan. He ain't do this on his own, ayy. The elites watching him close, ayy. He most likely is a clone, ayy. Might go down as Fraud UD, Kamala Harris is the devil, ayy. But I'm on another level. And still, bad things. There's a lot of bad things that he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing on you. Yeah. Yeah. Bad things. There's a lot of bad things that he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing, he wishing on you. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Mercury and Sagittarius transit talk. This is the piece of dealer here in these internet streets, dumb thugging, where I may have to. Don't sleep on the keyboard warriors. I'll be thinking shit is sweet. I'll be going outside like every other now and then. I mean, third house Gemini. I be in the neighborhood. You know what, Dom? I actually do. Shout out to Kiki. I see what you mean though, because like I have them, but like we're still integrating. We transforming the site, but she's a Libra. She's a Libra, by the way. I feel what you need. I need a Virgo assistant. That keeps me up to date on the day to day, because she Libra and Gemini moon, and we have that air sign loopiness. There's just some, earth grounded sign shit that we just don't even pay attention to. And you're right. I didn't even think about that. But other than that, guys, my apologies. I scheduled this at 5 a.m. thinking it was 5 p.m. Then I scheduled it at 4 an hour ago. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this at 4, and then completely forgot. And I was like, oh, it's 5. I remember when I did that meetup, I think in Atlanta, there was a Pisces. So there was a Virgo moon woman who just let me know why I needed Virgos in my life. She was like, yeah, you did the analytics, right? When you came through, I was like, oh shit, I forgot I have that data. And she just gave me the Virgo moon look like, yeah, you need Virgo. She even told me yes. And it's cool. I thought the AM was a PM. Flip the 9. Now it's flip the 6. It's a 9 now. I got I got it mixed up. Yeah. Yep, that was a lit live. That was definitely a top 10 peace talk live. I'm gonna have to actually do. I am so obsessed with fire. I noticed that like every element can get it, but like the fire earth or earth fire combos, I'll be obsessed with. I don't know why. Actually, I know why. I'll be looking fine as fuck. But like, yes, I might have to compile the top 10 peace talks I've done. I think that's a top 10 or top 20 peace talk. It's definitely up there. All right. Um, as you can see, this is Mercury coming out of Sagittarius, and thesis statement for this transit talk, right? This is going to personally, all right, readjust and synchronize your brain processing as your consciousness will slowly but surely catch up to this. Mercury is going to retrograde in Capricorn. Okay. And so the retrograde of Capricorn is getting ready to utilize a God level of brain functioning power because you are unlocking God's vision. You are unlocking the highest capability of your third eye utilization post awakening and transformation and harvest. So it's literally reconfiguring your brain to adjust for more metaphysical supernatural experiences that you will make your own. And so the retrograde of Mercury is, oh wow, I see better. I can understand the meaning of things and discern them in moments. So the way that I use my brain has to reevaluate. Okay. And that's going to catch up with the sun, epiphany galore. Then we're going to have the sun 29-degree Capricorn awakening. So this Sagittarius transit with the sun and Mercury is preparing you to post ascension now step into the final part of this awakening. So let me go back and say this thesis statement again. Basically, and let me know if this resonates with you, but the analogy or the vision that I have is like some of you may either be consciously aware because you practice the law of assumption, or you are not aware of the fact that your physical reality grounds the condensing of energy to the physical. But then there's the 99+% of the metaphysical aspects of you that quantum mechanics has also affirmed is a thing, right? And so it's like some of you with your physical vessels are creating and responding to events before they happen. And you might just process them as thoughts, or maybe you're creative with your imagination. You travel space and time with your mind through your imagination, that vehicle. So it's like your brain can bring to your present moment experiences and events that you are responding to. Here's a great example. It's like 5 days from now, you have an argument with somebody and it's a heated argument, right? But 5 days before that, you are already responding to that heated argument. You're not physically, but your spirit is there and your physical body is sensing that even though it's not physically there. Your brain does not have a means to process it because it's not physical, right? So you might not even see it as anything when you have already interacted with that 5 days prior. And the example I want to give is like impacting now when you come into that argument 5 days later, you may have already changed and shifted the energy because you addressed it, or you're just more prepared, or you see it coming. So now that process between what it is you see physically versus what it is you're connecting with outside of the physical is synchronizing. This synchronization, as your consciousness is catching up to your brain and what it's processing, is what's going to enable you to unlock God's vision. So now you are seeing with greater clarity. Key point, the squares to Pisces that we will talk about. In with that, of course, Pisces 90 degrees from that. Or it'd be more accurate to say that Mercury is 240 degrees because the Gemini transit was really 90 since Mercury moves the fastest. So that's our timer. So this is a complete Capricorn signature that is bringing the harvest of the Virgo transit that took that metaphysical nature and grounded it through your behavior and reality. Now we're completing it by seeing the full higher meaning of what you've updated in your third eye. We've been doing this process since 2012. And if you see Mercury here, this is the last 2 years we will have this process. 2024, we're going to do it again. And then by 2025, Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, guys. And this is going to be, of course, and yeah, 8 of Wands is Mercury and Sag. So very, 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 very quick movements. A lot of things are going to really swiftly occur to, of course, this is breakthrough, simulate breakthrough, the arrows of love, that Venus and Libra will balance. So things aren't necessarily moving too out of whack. All right. And yeah, we're going to talk about why this Mercury transit is what's going to break you through the ability to see unseen metaphysical dynamics that have been connecting the experiences. It's almost going to unveil the metaphysical science behind synchronicities. The light of Sagittarius is going to now reveal illusory experiences that we may call magic that actually have more of a scientific basis behind it because of that passage of time that enables you to apply the Virgo analysis. And once you realize, once again, these transits aren't necessarily new, there's just different aspects to them. But yeah, we're going to see, of course, the direct motion of Saturn as well as the world continues to end. So this is going to be you seeing it. All right. And I think that's the first place we will really start this reading out of. Okay. So, or this transit talk. We're going to talk about really what Mercury's journey is set to accomplish here. By the time Mercury sextile Saturn in Pisces, it is aligning your brain function with the integrity of your beliefs. And that's where, like, Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Saturn in Pisces, you're utilizing your brain function because you're imagining this, and that's happening. Mercury in Capricorn is going to solidify a causality between the power of your imagination and how it warps your reality. But instead of being so subtle, it's that much more noticeable. And then the awakening in Pluto will take that readjustment and now awaken greater depth, through which we'll go through a whole nother cycle to now complete again. And this is going to be your first taste of actual, real supernatural potential outside of already awakening the beta versions of your own superpowers. Okay. That means this Sagittarius transit before that sextile that will kind of like lock things into gear to where you can complete and restart is what's going to complete the final perception that will lead you into that sextile to use your brain like this. So if we're utilizing brain function in Capricorn, we are ascending brain function. We are taking it to a higher level. This looks like realizations. This looks like confirmation. All right. Go back to Mercury and Gemini. That's the experimentation sign. You were experimenting new ideas and thoughts. You were programming your brain. That's what brought the question of what are we dealing with? Virgo, through analysis of this experimentation, now weaved into your behavioral patterns, habits based on the activation of these new attitudes and ideas that we do every year. All right. That firmware update. And that's what answered the question, how? Now, Sag and Pisces will confirm a lot of what we were theorizing and analyzing with this synthesis of meaning. Because Gemini is the word in the dictionary. Sagittarius is what that word means. God's vision pertains, of course, or God vision pertains to the God signs. This is the ascension into the final 4 elements in Zodiac signs. The first 4, of course, pertaining to individuality and childhood development, 0 years old to 12 at Cancer. The next 4, now the social development of individuality, Leo at high school, and then Scorpio 44, mid-adulthood, where you enter the supers. And then, of course, the last 4, late adulthood, all right, the peak of adulthood in the 50s, 60s at Sag to the end of your life, 70s to the end of your life, Pisces, which is the God signs, all right, the individuals, the socials, all right, different social groups and cultures, and the collective, the whole world, the universe and Aquarius and existence with Pisces. So The God signs represent different aspects of God, if you can say that. Of course, the all seeing eye of God that sees into and through and beyond infinity, Sagittarius. That vision is what piques the wanderlust of exploration to now explore what they see and why they can look at you and just fry the shit out of you. This is what makes them roast masters because they really see you and they're going to talk about it too, and they're going to laugh at your expense, and they're so good they're going to make you laugh too, unless you're mad. Get out your feelings. Capricorn is the power of God. Once you expand this element of seeing everything, you now take action. And the principle of integrity enables now this God level power to be the omnipotent, all powerful representative of an entire, nation or collective that moves in unison. That power produces knowledge. The mind of God, Aquarius, all right, the genius, which of course is omniscience. And then, of course, that produces the imagination, Pisces, what Neville Goddard calls God, that final sign, which could be omnipresence, the ever-present nature of this this vibe that's beyond everything. All right, and yet still a part of everything. And that is the God Squad. Before we now restart at Aries, that spark, and we take that condensation back into the individuality of an individual. So we are ascending, coming out of the fall and getting ready to complete this cycle through the final part of breakthrough. Stage 1 breakthrough is Libra. Stage 2 breakthrough is Scorpio. As a part of the I Told You So tour, and stage 3 breakthrough, then part 3 of the I Told You So tour this year is Sagittarius. Okay, you terrorists out here just terrorizing people with your shining light. So yes, Mercury as of now is 8 degrees. And the reason why that's important is from the beginning of this transit to 8 degrees was actually the first phase of this transit. All right. The first part of this transit is that square. I cannot emphasize enough how important this 70 degree square is. So instead, let me just show you. We, of course, have to look at conjunctions to any planet with the outer planets. You want to see them as like timers. And it's going to really do a huge solid into really helping you understand. As you can see, Mercury and Sag is going to start to quincunx the Uranus conjunction with the North Node that was here. And we're going to talk about how that's going to apply the sudden awakening of your senses to completely transform. All right. And this is all unconventional. I spoke to, of course, an ascended angel this morning. We did a progress chart, amazing reading. And like science, you don't wait for science to catch up to this. We were talking about dreaming with Tess. I don't know if she's here. She's also Neptune Sag. This woman had moon on her Neptune and Sag. And, we were talking about how she had a dream about something that happened. And then her mom called to tell her that it happened the next day. And I won't get too much into specifics, but I'm sure you've had those experiences too. It's not relatively uncommon, although this quality is like super ascended because she's God level. But like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That in certain circles will be seen as delusion when it's literally a form of magic. It's a form of your own gifts. It's literally just the nature of your brain to be able to perceive these things in that extrasensory way. Your dreams could be a form of information. And if you're waiting for a materialist, reductionist, backwards, fake science, okay, to try and make sense of this, that's telling you that this is delusional, you're shortchanging yourself. This era is now getting ready for a new revolution. A lot of the previous information age and scientific enlightenment revolutions were good for their time. I disagree, but like we throwing that shit in the trash. So you are this revolutionary in innovating your own personal experiences, exposing the frauds who act like they do what you do, but they could never and they wish. And this is where this Mercury and Sagittarius will transform that relationship between this awakening of these physiological extra dimensional senses that are strengthening your clairs, that are strengthening your connection with your, let's say, spirit self, even though you are the spirit self having a physical body. All right, cool. So we're gonna really go over that, but I want to show you the math. I'm not really like other quote unquote astrologers that just hit you with speculation on what they think the planets are. The reason why you guys, notice so much accuracy with what we do is because I respect the math. That's that this that it's what's actually happening. So let's actually go back to this peak conjunction that we had, all right, at the end of Aquarius. This square that Mercury is having right now is the conclusion of one of the most extraordinary cycles that we have started ever in human history. Of course, while the world is ending. Okay. I cannot emphasize enough how badass this is, fresh off of a Mars that was retrograde in Gemini. So this is peak. This is the definition of peak astrology. Where were you March 2023? Kronos gave you the illest download drop. Okay. Have you ever went to your iPhone or Android and you downloaded an update on your phone that was the most extraordinary update, leagues above the rest, behind Pisces, by the way? So this is a legendary 12th house signature. All right. You are transcending the extraordinary quality of the advanced knowledge your brain has the capability of processing. Post awakening, mind you, because this was a part of the supernatural awakening of your body protocol. All right. Hypothetically, I can't emphasize enough alone the 29 degrees. That was when you planted the seeds for that. Okay. Put a fork in that. All right. Because once Mercury went into Gemini after the retrograde in Taurus, those seeds that were planted, right, started to grow through the ground. When? During the square. This was stage 2. Where were you? June 16, 2023. See, this is just math. This is just math. We not speculating. I can give my subjective interpretation of what this means, which you should always take as a grain of salt. Just like a meteorologist will look at weather patterns and say it rains, it don't always rain. But he's saying that with experience and knowledge. And, most of the time it do motherfucking rain. Okay. So with that being said, we have this 90-degree square. That was the intellectual brain processing and understanding of the metaphysical beliefs that Saturn engineered as it was getting ready to end the world. This was around the period where God was like, hey, here are the materials to build the ark. The direct. The retrograde was you working on the ark, and now it's direct. The flood's here. Which, shout out to us. We ain't drowning. Let us have a moment of silence for all these bum ass, lame ass, sorry for my language, stupid, weak little bitches who finna just be drowning. Why are you building your ark? Why are you building your ark? That's so weird. That's so strange. Look at him now. And you're just on the boat like, ha! Sorry, I'm just joking. You're in the boat like, love and light and harmony. We love everybody. We don't hate. That's petty. Psych! I lie. Ha! You about to see a lot of people blah, 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 blah. And let me actually make this more real for you. So that actual transit from the sun in Sagittarius to Pisces, by the time the sun is in Pisces, the flood level is full. I'm going to break it down. Right now that it's direct, the flood is happening. From Sag to Pisces, the flood level is getting wide. And then once we move, it's sailing, baby. It's the Saturn Pisces transit. And if they drown, let them drown. Blah, 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 blah. Look, tap your neighbor to the side and tell them blah, 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 blah. And whenever anybody is trying to hate on what you're building and doing with your art, don't even listen to them. Just look them in the eye and say blah, 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 blah. And they're going to be like, what? And you're going to be like, that's going to be you soon, son. Better build that up. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. That's why this is happening during the I Told You So tour. Scorpio, water sign, that's where the rain comes. And by Sag, you're starting to see the change. The change starts. The mutable signs, Sag and Pisces, are the two elements of change. That beginning of change, flood water drives, Pisces, it's flood. The bitch is flooded. This motherfucker flooded. Air flights, for sure. Okay. So this square was where the seed you planted broke through the ground. This is where you're starting to understand what language, programming language, can now take these new activation of the strongest update of your brain that happened collectively. So that Saturn Mercury 29-degree conjunction was a collective update that everyone could individually download, right? Everyone has phones per se, and you didn't have to update that, but some people did, right? By actually ingraining these new ideas and concepts. Mercury and Saturn was a totality of advanced knowledge relative to the population control saga from 2021 to 2023 that took those last 2 years of you getting gaslighted, lied to, censored, and all sorts of other bullshit that's not relatively new or uncommon. And this is what produced new concepts at the highest advanced level. Ask any Aquarius, especially if they're the last degrees of Aquarius or early Pisces. They know all about what I'm talking about. So this is where you started to now understand the programming, this is now, and it was experimenting with these ideas, see, wear them, see how they work. Cool. Then we had the harvest. Achoo! Achoozy! Then, oh my God. Then this was when the retrograde began. The retrograde around this period was where you already received the tools to build your arc and the concept of new beliefs about yourself that are beyond what other people around you believe, but this is you, and you had synchronicities. God was telling you to faith. The retrograde was you building that arc. Virgo, reality. This was you now taking these beliefs and creating behaviors, routines, habits, analyzing the experimentation, like, oh, I thought this and this happened. I thought this and this happened. Mastery, mastery, mastery. This is where you started to harvest that conjunction. Why is that important? Where are we at now? The completion of the harvest. This is everything you've been working for. What's that completion of the harvest going to look like? It's going to look like a supernaturally enhanced application of the advanced knowledge you activated nearly more than 6 months ago, as you're going to be able to see through the bullshit that you're being fed right now in the media, and also be able to apply the ascended application of new supernatural abilities. Basically, everything that you've been experiencing over the past 6 months as far as synchronization as directly tied to your willful activation or subconscious holding space of these powers. This is applying that mastery, and you're taking it to the next level. You're seeing more the meaning of what you've been doing, and this is going to be the change that is going to now show you what it is you can do before so you're adjusting your perspective, and you're seeing, oh, I made this happen. Oh, I made this happen. Oh, I'm making this happen. Oh, I was thinking that this was a coincidence. This happens every time I think like this. Like, you're seeing it. Okay, we're going to do this next year again too, and reinforce everything we do this year. But with this time, Jupiter is going to be in Gemini. So by the time we do this again next year, and the North Node is closer in Aries, Jupiter in Gemini is going to be expanding our real-time experience of how our words and ideas are adding to this. For now, this is changing your perspective and anchoring it in your body. This is transforming your understanding of your body before you now shift to your mind. So you have that grounding. If we didn't have the grounding, there'd be too much changing at once. You wouldn't have values, unconventional values, to be a grounding cord. All right. So you want to see this as a 2-year process. This year with Jupiter and Taurus, next year with Jupiter and Gemini. But let's talk about this. This transit from 0 degrees to 8 degrees is the first part of this transit. Okay. This is the first decan expansion with Jupiter that is actively ahead of the sun, having you pick up on ascended information. Ascended meaning that the meaning of the information you're processing is showing you the meaning of the word in the dictionary. So when I showed you Mercury and Gemini, you were discerning the word. And after analyzing that word in Virgo, now you're seeing the meaning of that word in the dictionary. What was the word? Let's say that this was your unique magic word that you were practicing in Gemini. You were programming in your brain to apply to situations, a new mindset, an idea. And now in Sagittarius, you are seeing the effects of that word. What does that word mean? Boom, Sagittarius is about to show you. And this required 6+ months of reinforcing these habits. That was the Saturn test. The Saturn standardized testing, like testing a car, is putting it through situations to see, can it handle this? Can it handle that? Okay, we're going to do bitch. So Saturn was like, oh, you really believe in yourself? You believe you have powers? You're delusional. And you would check Saturn and be like, receipts, bitch. By the time it was harvesting in Virgo, what was it harvesting? Receipts. Oh, you said that psychic ability is impossible. Why did I predict this then? Oh, you said that this was impossible. Why did I do this then? Harvesting those receipts, reinforcing more of this radical change in your behavior. By the way, this is once in a lifetime. Not once in a lifetime, but the last time Neptune was with Saturn was like over 150 years ago, which most people don't live over 100. So for some, it's once in a lifetime. And the reason why this is going to be even more important is that first part of the transit was hyper synchronizing supernatural concepts you've never been taught before with your own unique innate language, which pretty much forgoes the need for classical education because your life is the school. All right, the soul school you're learning, and this is applying everything you've learned in your own unique language. And that's where I'm saying, after you adjust everything you see you can do, you're going to use and apply it. Capricorn, the elite quadrant, the upper echelon, and you're going to this is going to transform with Pluto a lot more of what you're capable of. Final boss battle too, by the way. So yeah, I want you to see this 8 degree that we're here today. That sextile is getting ready to open the door to an amazing adventure. And the moon is getting ready to go into Capricorn to help you ahead of time understand the potential of what you can utilize with this ascending brain function. Okay. Once the moon goes into Capricorn, it's like trying a skill for the first time. And then once Mercury actually goes into Capricorn, you've done it 56,000 times. So now you're ready to step into the first level after a few attempts. And this is going to be fun, guys, because like when it came to using your superpowers over the past 5 months, it had to be slowed down. This is an analogy. You had to use it in a beta phase because the full power of it would fry your fucking brain. I'm going to just be honest. You would have been too exhausted. Now that you've worked out those kinks, the energy is releasing, and now you can harness more of that power. All right. And instead of being held back because it's too fast, you already got used to the training wheels, is the best way I can say that. So, what is unique about this? There's a yod. This yod is epic, guys. Okay. We have the yod with Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter, but we're going to focus on the yod with Mercury, Venus, and also Jupiter. Okay. Mercury and Venus are the perceptual with Sagittarius and cardinal power with Libra that influences how much the fixed pressure and strength of Jupiter is pushed down. Let me give you a visual of this because there are different qualities of yods. This is a fixed yod. So a fixed yod is like pressing down on this mic, right? But the angle that I press down on this mic influences how, if I press the mic down at this angle, it's not moving down. So I have the power, I have the force, but the angle is off, right? So Sagittarius is adjusting my angle. Okay, let me hit it from this. And then Venus is polishing the force. Instead of a rough force, I can just casually do it. See? And Jupiter is the swag, like, But you see how the angle and the force I hit this down influences the strength. That's a fixed yod. Boom. So what's happening right now is that the mutual tag team receptivity between Aphrodite and Hermes is taking this classic balance of your heart and projecting the ascended processing so that you can perceive the right direction to evolve this quality of strength. Venus is integrating the Jupiter expansion, but Mercury is transforming what it is you see because now the evidence of the evolution of your body is now being practically observed. Whereas inferring before this, there was no way you can be aware of these autonervous quantum processes. But now that Sagittarius is ascending this so that you can see the meaning of it, that is what through those effects will give you the evidence of how this happened. All right. And the cool thing is you don't have to take my word for it because the first part of this was the setup. Now, moving forward, because of that Jupiter evolution, boom, all you're going to do is notice it. The next part of this transit is now 8 degrees to 16 degrees, the road to the Uranus quincunx. Now that we're in between Jupiter and Uranus, first of all, if you up into over the past 4 days, like once Mercury officially 270 degree completed the Saturn, mind you, this is what you planted seeds for. You have now completed the harvest. So there's no more harvest. Now you're coming in to the full high score. You're coming into the full meaning of your potential for reality warping, of your potential for your vision, of how you can see the crystallization of your unique God-given abilities. And of course, what they mean, because you've already called it a name during Gemini. The best part about this too, which is why this is the third part of the I Told You So tour, you have a lot of weak minds who, instead of opening their mind to get over their prejudice and pride, would rather project on you and take out on you their own ability to make sense with their life. Because they're weak, stupid little bitches, and you are in your authenticity, just by you being really you, it exposes them without you having to point the finger. And so they can just take that frustration out on you. And everything that you might have been undermined because of people's inability to overcome the fallacies of their beliefs and philosophies that they basically just worship while they think they worship some god, or they think they know the truth, which is preposterous and hilarious and comical at best, are going to reluctantly see that you were right the whole time. This is a collective vision. And this is why on that I Told You So tour, you're going to be showing people this. The third part of the I Told You So tour requires no speech. That was just Libra. The only speech required in the I Told You So tour was the Libra first part presentation of Virgo, the facts. Hey, hi guys. So I have all these receipts, and you guys were talking a lot of shit. And I didn't say anything because y'all don't really know anything anyway. But I thought I would itemize every single one of those. Yeah. Remember how you said A? Yeah, I want you to look at A subsection B2. Yeah, suck my dick. Yeah, I told you. All right, I want you to go to section 3. You guys gave me 6 months of bullshit for this. What's that? What's that? Hold on. What was it? You don't have to say anything. It's speaking for itself. Now we're in Scorpio season, so we don't have to say anything. We're just adding sauce. We're just like, I told you so, bitch. That's it. That's it. And now Sagittarius, we don't have to say anything. It's the show me sign. Gemini is tell. Sag is show. Gemini and Sag is show and tell. All right. We're the best at that. Well, they be showing. We be telling. We can do both. But yes. All right. Even truth telling. All right. Even you better know about us. So this is where Sagittarius is going to, you're not going to have to say anything because you're just going to be showing people. And that's that disillusionment with the Neptune square, where it's like people are reluctantly having to admit that you were right. And this can produce denial. Some of you can go through some of the most pathetic denial that you've ever seen as you see people's brains glitch at the face of realizing that not only were they wrong about you, this might actually take a hit to their beliefs, Sag philosophy, Pisces beliefs. So you are playing your part in killing these old traditions. And the people who have the inability to really overcome their pride are going to project to you their denial and almost blame you for basically exposing the flaws in their beliefs. Because they identify with their beliefs, they're going to think that you expose them. And some of you inadvertently might have done so, but hopefully they're able to disassociate between and differentiate rather between those two. And yes, real time. Okay, so this is the harvest completion. There's nothing you really have to do. You just need to show up. You are going to be put in situations because of the sextile to Venus. Venus is like the liaison that's going to 11th house from Mercury, pair you with the right people at the right time, emphasis of the nodes, okay, destiny, that all you have to do is just show up. Do not edit yourself. If you need to be around a Sagittarius, do not edit yourself. Okay, all right, okay. And Sag is going to show you the way. All right. And Jesus or Christ, or whether you see it as real or an analogy, is the truth, the way, and the life. Sagittarius is going to be that shining light. And when I say Sagittarius, I don't mean a demon, I don't mean a zodiac sign. The concept of Sagittarius, the all-seeing eye of Yahweh, God, that you can access through the Holy Spirit to see the way that Christ walked through. That's the whole mathematical symbology of ascension that you can literally apply to crops. This doesn't have to be spiritual, because some people will say that's demonic. Bitch, I'm talking about plants. When you harvest plants, you are ascending them from out the field and into your bucket. You know what I mean? Like this, it is what it is. You're about to see everything you've harvested. So please do not let people mind trick your brain to demonize your culture, to demonize the stuff you believe in, and actually practice with accuracy, because it threatens their dumbass beliefs that were never really real. It was just a culmination of their postulation, and they decided to take that out on you. This is going to slaughter fools. Remember when I said that you were going to lay the smackdown? Don't act like you're not doing that right now with your aura and your actions. Well, this is going to be the final part of that smacking, where you're just like, the dust starts to settle, and this is going to be fucking badass, boy. Okay. And I'm tired of people saying Yahweh is a demon or Yahweh is a storm deity. You guys do not know Yahweh. Do not play with that name. That is a real name. It just means I am. Yahweh is literally just an anagram for I am. Do not play with that name. I've never heard anybody say that actually know what they're talking about. Y'all just heard that from somebody who heard that from somebody. Okay. This is Gnostic bullshit, by the way, where people will say Yahweh was the evil God and then Jesus is the new that's bullshit. That's not backed by anything. It's like somebody remixed the story about a story that was remixed about another story that was remixed. So I don't play with that name. I fuck with Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahashua, there you go. All right. And shout out to YouTube Block Me. That's no diss to you. All right. We love you out here. We're just, I'm just attacking that narrative. It's fucking stupid. All right, it is what it is. But other than that, yeah, son. Yeah, let your actions, of course, personally, it's putting you in a position to now that you will be seeing more that you can do because you have completed your harvest. So that's going to look like seeing, oh, my brain has literally updated. Now you've taken the NZT pill to see the best that you can do relative to, of course, this completion. If you like it, you can add to it. If you don't, you'll come back around the next cycle and adjust it. Okay. So personally, once we go past 8 degrees, this road to Chiron moving forward from tomorrow, as you can see, boom, 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 boom. And then we get to the 21st, 22nd, but really the 20th, 21st. So once we come into this trine, mind you, we had that activation with Mercury, Chiron, and Aries. This is going to be bringing that to the high perspective to now process how you are overcoming previous vulnerabilities that you sow the seeds to not only heal. All right. Mercury Chiron is just how much more raw and savage can you express yourself freely, Sagittarius. So if Chiron and Mercury and Aries, now there's a vulgarity here. We're not talking about classic polish of Libra that's mindful of its social environment and has to balance what it wants to say outside of what socially is. This is Aries. This is, I don't give a fuck about you, bitch, suck my dick. That's Aries. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that's Aries. Okay. So Chiron was on Aries and you were working through what rawness needed to come out. How much more free could you be in this raw expression? And 9 months ago, 7 months ago, you were probably just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. And now that Mercury is trying this, you're like, fuck yeah! There's like a freedom in being raw. Now I'm using an extreme example of being vulgar, but this is really just the original expression of your brain and your ideas and the original concepts of your thoughts that you are seeing a higher meaning of once again. And it's going to feel amazing. because of the Pluto square through that Mercury transit in Aries, there was an inhibition to speak your mind. That's not going to, oh, I can't wait. Bro, guys, once Pluto goes into Aquarius, everything that you were pressured to speak out against, you're going to be supported for. Like, you just have to make it to the Pluto Aqua and beyond. We're going to have Pluto Aqua sextiles to Aries energy. So that's going to not have that much pressure. The pressure is going to be more Taurian, of course. But yes, this is where the inhibition towards original ideas in the beginning of the year, you're now free to say. There are going to be things that you might have been nervous about speaking about that you'll say to anybody in their face. Okay, so this is beautiful because this is post Jupiter quincunx, and after this 8th degree, you're going to see an active expansion of transforming this evolution. We are harvesting that Jupiter, by the way. So basically, everything in Scorpio that the opposition did, you're going to start to see the effects of the results of that partnership opposition. Okay, very, 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 very important, because that's going to lead us to the 20-degree closing quincunx. This is the critical peak of this transit. It's also coinciding the sun entering Sagittarius. And once the sun squares Saturn, that's going to bring into motion the events of the world. It's going to be a huge change just because of the Saturn totality square right here. That's also going to mark the completion of the Sun Saturn Aquarius cycle we had. So now everything that our brain is processing now, our sun is going to give us this ascended awareness. It's like our brain is putting bookmarks. Oh, I'm thinking about this. Oh, I'm thinking about that. Then we're going to be aware of those thoughts directly. All right. So your brain is literally ahead of time creating the neural pathways to process this before your sun activates it with the awareness. And then Mars is going to take what was activated with awareness and act on it. Mars is going to be you now taking that action now that you're seeing your way through. This is iconic, guys, because for the major part of this year, Mars was ahead of the sun and Mercury. This now is the takeover of your brain and consciousness, where we were taking action before, and then we were processing it, and then we were being aware of it. Now we're processing, being aware, and then taking action. And it's going to be super fun. And for those of you waiting for something to pop off, oh, it's popping off. All right. It's been popping off, but this is going to be more for the world to see. And a large part of that, guys, is the arc. The flood is here. That square is where the flood starts pouring down. Okay. By the time the sun is on Saturn, that's going to be the first Sun Saturn Pisces conjunction in 30 years. And then in the same sign as Neptune is over 120 years. That's the flood. That's Neptune. That's the flood. Sun conjunct Saturn Pisces is where the water level with the Sagittarius square, right, now comes up to full flood, and we begin our transit, the faith journey into the new world. Okay. New world order, Saturn Aries. All right. So this quincunx is going to transform. All right. Claim it now. If you're waiting to get them pentacles, you don't understand your power as a creator. All right. Claim it now. Make it happen now. And that's what this transit is going to show you. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of you may not realize that you're experiencing cognitive dissonance between the synchronization of events outside this time space and you in or in space time, and you in time space, or you in space time and events out in time space. All right. So this is going to literally open your brain to rework the way you think about things, to where you're no longer waiting for things to happen. You're the creator. Sagittarius is the sign of creation. So this is going to show you what you can create with your brain because you programmed it in Gemini. And this is where, if 6 months ago you were programming shitty thoughts into your brain, I never get anything, nothing ever works right for me, and then Virgo season came through and you integrated that into your behavior, that's all you're gonna see. If when Mercury was in Gemini, you had faith and beliefs, you didn't see it, that were just sprouting out the ground, and you're like, I'm the shit, everything I do works for me, I love it. And meanwhile, Saturn is like, I don't see it. but you don't need to see it. You still believed it and you ingrain that into your habits. Now you behaved as the person who has all your desires. And when you hear people give you this law of assumption advice, you don't just dismiss it. How many times have people told you, live in the end state, live in the end state, live in the end state? It's already done now. Ask yourself, are you still reverting to old behavior? You didn't do the work. Listen, guys, this is so very important because the activation of this God power is not a flex. Nothing about this is good. Nothing about this is bad. This Saturn is responsibility. Reality warping comes with responsibility. So the reason why your very thoughts will manifest instantly is because that's what this was preparing you for. Everyone's going through it. This is why people are going to have psychotic episodes because they don't understand why their every thought and imagination is converging in and they didn't do the work. They don't believe this shit is true. They're going to try and suppress it with medication. It's not going to work. All right. So this is where, for those of you who did the work, you did the work because you're going to be looking at your 3D external environment and it's not going to change what's in your 4D. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm broke because you're going to be like, yep, I'm rich as fuck. Even if you have $0 in your bank account. If you think that's delusional, you didn't do the work. You didn't do the work. You don't, that was the building of your arc. If you really think that's delusional, you don't have an arc. You're going to get flooded when the economy crashes. Okay. When external events get in the way of you doing what you normally do, you built that arc. So you're going to sail through it. You're going to literally create miracles. You engineered those beliefs. They didn't come out of nowhere. You had to reinforce them. That took work. Do you see what I'm getting at here? So the Sun, Mercury, Saturn was the beginning of that. And that brought Saturn into Pisces in retrograde. That was the building of your arc. That was the engineering of new neural pathways and concepts and beliefs that through your consistency, you quite literally broke through into reality because you're a fucking magician. You really create in a world of people who are trying to gaslight you for tapping into your potential because whatever the fuck you want to call them, really those people are aspects of your own self that you summon to challenge you, just like you challenge them. And when you die and you get out the cast, you go to the casting party and be like, we were such assholes to each other. Blah, blah, blah. When you're just souls, okay? And we may not remember the fact that everything is interrelated and correlated because people have prejudice and pride and they still have stuff to work through. But then there are people like you who acknowledge that stuff you have to work through them, and then you gain all the success because you are gaining all the success. And if you understand, here's another way to know if you did the work and built your arc. Is your success tied to physical shit? I'm sorry, some of you think you're spiritual, but you care more about your portfolio than the internal values that are going to take you into the next world. A lot of people love to say spiritual quotes. You don't get what this shit is about. You are in a transitory world. The whole lie of investing in stuff like this society is not even real. The whole aspect of the economy that you live in is not even more than like 500 1,000 years old. You have 1,000 years ago civilizations that borrow these concepts, but like you're being asked to invest in something that's not fucking real. There's a matrix on this Mother Earth. Mother Gaia is pissed. For the past few centuries, we've done nothing but fucking shit on her and use her resources. That's why she's going to reset. It'll take 2 weeks for Mother Gaia to reset and get rid of all of the scum on this planet. And that's why you're chosen to repopulate the world. I know that sounds fucking crazy. You will see it during this. And it's going to put together, oh, that's why I was led on this dream. That's why I had to be isolated. That's why I learned everything I learned. You're getting ready to apply this so powerfully. So you'll know you did the work. You'll know you built your arc because you're the creator. Literally, ye are as gods. You have, of course, opened up the capability for you to streamline your thoughts in alignment with the universe to align with what is already here for you. And now, because you did the work, that is all you're going to see. That's it. You're unlocking God's vision. That is quite literally all of Mercury and Sag. It is the completion of the work that was done. All the people who basically did not, you know what I'm saying, do the work, and they shirked all the gifts they gained and didn't pick for the food in the fall like the ants did. They're like the grasshopper that's going to quite literally die out in the winter. They didn't build their ark. Those resources you received, they received them too. They spent that PPP loan money on bullshit. You reinvested in yourself. And we're going to see who reinvested in themselves, because that square to Pisces is going to have people like this is also the definition of what you know. You're going to see people who have been preaching this, they've been preaching that, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes time to show the element of their philosophy, it was a whole bunch of hogwash. They cannot apply it. All right. You, the peace dealer, you can bring the peace dealer on any podcast. I don't need to be with what people will call my echo chamber. We could be with your hating ass fans. Everyone could be hating on me. I will speak the truth. I will back it up. I will prove it too. I got receipts. I did the work just like you did the work. And we all going to say, I told you so. So by the time that Uranus King happens, this is now pushing the doorway on the supernatural, unconventional nature of boom. It's going to feel like you took NZT. All right. It's going to click, click, boom. What are you transforming? The understanding of your perceptual vision of what? Your physical senses. This is where it's going to be like, oh, wow, I see like God. Boom. You are going to unlock godlike vision collectively, and the nature and integrity of what you did is important. Now, why is this also more important? We're starting to come into the Neptune square. The Neptune square is the final part of this transit that's going to bring into greater crystallization the powerful and super magical element of transcending this full-on understanding of the metaphysical. So Saturn was like the portal dimension to at least bring consistency, because if we didn't have it, you wouldn't even notice it. But because Saturn is here, you're going to start to notice stuff that was always there, especially since 2012. That was always there and you had theories about, but now it's like, oh shit, this was not just in my head. And for some of you, you already knew. It's not confirmation, this is just further confirmation. Okay, you need to get excited, guys. If you're not really excited, I feel like some of you are around people who act like they mean well and they know how to use like nice language, but they just keep you down. They keep undermining you, or people who are not trying to mean well and are just undermining you. I picture some of you like Cinderella, you know what I mean? Just like being abused by people close to you, by coworkers and whatnot. And that's because you're building your arc. And listen, we're living in a society of possessed demons, fallen angels, people with genealogical differences that will also show in the nature of how their genetics is coming through. And you know, regardless of your race, regardless of your culture, you have a soul. And for those of you who kept that soul pure, it's going to attract impure souls that want to corrupt you, distort you, switch your idea, persuade you. And the thing is, you're going to kill them all. Yes, murder was the case. And you might not be violent, but your aura will murder fools. Okay. And you're also going to see that. All right. These are the unconventional dynamics here that will really, really, really put you in that position to capitalize accordingly. All right. So once you see this square, this is the completion of the harvest of the Quaaludes or LSD. I said Quaaludes. The LSD, I said Quaaludes as a joke, but the LSD droplets that will now inhibit. I like to see Neptune squares as like laughing gas. And this is going to prepare you for the surgery. So before you have major surgery, you have to have like, you know, something, a numbing agent, anesthetics or something, or laughing gas. This is going to be more like laughing gas, like ha, 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 because what's the surgery? Mercury, Pluto, and the retrograde. All right, it's gonna, you know, kind of uninhibit you, and this is gonna make people delusional as fuck. So just ignore what people say. It's gonna sound convincing. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about though. And yeah. One moment, guys. All right. So, in a nutshell, that's everything you can expect. I didn't want to make this too long. If you click the description box below, you will, of course, see the link to join the queue for a live reading. For those of you who would like a live reading about what this transit will be for your chart, you can email me your chart or your sun, moon, or rising. And of course, your boy will interpret it. If you would like me to pull a tarot card, I will also sponsor Is It Tarot. I know I did a report already for the great Christian Dixie. All right. So I do have 14 spots available left for the Mercury and Sagittarius transit talk. Okay. For those of you who are interested in the 15-minute dive, more to see personally to you how this will align your vision, just let me know. You better know I got you. All right. It's all day, every day here. Cool. This was dope. The trine to the nodes are most definitely going to align you so much more to the potential of what direction you're destined to move in. So it's Sag and Pisces that are going to be very instrumental to the approach you take towards the mission that's getting ready to be established. All right. And other than that, let's see what card we have for you. The underlying theme we have collectively for you for this transit, we do have the Lovers card, which, listen, it's not really too surprising because of that Venus Libra sextile. And what's going to really open up this choice? The Lovers card is saying you're going to note that you have a lot of options as far as different ways to express yourself and different people who will respond to different expressions. Yes, this will be available for replay. All right, really good question. So the Lovers card is also opening up passion for what you love to do. Some of you may be able to pick back up previous hobbies or develop new ones or come into, this is being with your soulmate. This is opening up romantically too for those of you who make the choice to pretty much facilitate this. All right. So I'm just getting a very fun energy from this. And that's the underlying theme, because we all know Sag is wild AF. And I wanted to say that y'all are the H word, because this is looking pretty something to me. This is looking pretty promiscuous. This is looking pretty free. Just leave it to Sagittarius to just bring out this super major promiscuous energy. And I'm not judging. Lord knows I could get some, you know what I'm saying? But like, oops. We do have, of course, the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is interesting. That's weird. The Seven of Pentacles is talking about investing in the right decisions that bring the right love and happiness. And love could be literally just passion. Anything that gets your heart going, connects your mind and your heart. Let's see what other cards we have. It basically any love that opens up, you can take your time with it. It doesn't necessarily like it's going to start abruptly. It's like you ever know something that moves fast but also takes its time. It's like every time you guys are together, it moves fast, but it's still going to progress naturally. So you kind of get the best of both worlds here. We also have the Hermit. So this is you applying everything that you've learned on your own. And the Seven of Swords, I believe, is you exposing that. I'm picking this up very clear. You're going to expose a fraud and a liar because you rested on your own insight. So it's like there's the narrative and someone is using the narrative to deceive people. But the Hermit is your own personal research. So your research showed you facts that the narrative research didn't. And you're going to be able to expose, hey, this person is lying to you. We did our own independent research, the Hermit and the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords. And y'all about to put some people on. All right. Especially if you might have been, potentially censored too because of that. And let's do one more. We do have the Three of Cups, Lover's Octave, really. This is Mercury in Cancer. This is friendship. This is fun. And it comes with the Queen of Pentacles. You guys can make really good friends with somebody who is more financially mature. You may, of course, embody this yourself. All right. Jesse, thank you very much. 5293. Let's get it. We see you're a Taurus born 93. First of all, knowing you're born in May, that's very beautiful because you have the Jupiter and Uranus in your sign. You are representing innovation. 93 is a very key year as well. That's Saturn coming out of Aqua going into Pisces. So, yeah, congratulations for the recent Saturn return. And as natural royalty, this is getting ready to take you there to that next level, literally, with Jupiter retrograding over your sun. And yeah, now, knowing that Mercury is on your nodes, North Node Sag, I'm grateful to be, shout out to those of you born 93 and 92. The South Node Gemini Connect, we all got you. All right. So as a Taurus, right? Wait a minute. Okay. As a Taurus sun, as a Taurus sun, the Mercury transit is 8th house from you. So you extend the natural quality of your embodiment of your values with the way you take your truth, your ideas, your attitude, 2nd house Gemini, and you show people the value of them. This is how you deal with others. So this is harvesting the quality of the results of your partnership, where Mercury is going to show you how your relationships with others are transforming because of you, because of what you bring to the table, because you've evolved, because you're innovating everything you touch. This is super Midas touch energy, right? And it's also challenging how much you take your insights to realistically now challenge yourself to show others, to draw those boundaries. And this is also going to look like great wealth. You could click the link below, by the way, for those of you who want to join the queue. I think I only have 19 spots left for those of you who are interested. And yeah, so that's going to be a major part, especially because you have North Node Sagittarius and Venus is going to be on your Jupiter in Libra opposite your Venus in Aries. So this is also with the nodes harvesting your raw beauty and original beauty, and it's showcasing it in Libra with Jupiter there, expanding the way you can polish this. A really good look. Because you have Mercury in Aries too, that synchronicity or synchronization with Mercury and Sag will elevate your brain function to reinforce how much more raw you speak. It's literally like if you had a doppelganger that's looking at you from the outside looking in, that's able to show you, hey, you can say this like that. And it's going to be like your higher brain looking at you and having that communication too. And that trine, of course, is going to flow very smoothly. So it's going to be a really good look. It's going to feel really good as well. And all that. All right. So a major portion of this for you is applying this unlocking of vision towards other people and how other people, now that you've harvested this evolution, are wanting what you got. So who do you trust? Mercury's going to show that. It's going to show you who belongs with you. And of course, whoever belongs with you is who believes in you. And yeah, once again, congratulations, because you actually have 29-degree Saturn in Aqua. So you're going to really feel this a lot as well, since the cycle started on your Saturn. Your Saturn return featured Mercury, which is a huge deal, very huge deal. All right. And it's going to really link a lot of the magician or that mind magic and that intellectual processing with the karma that you're coming back to instill. Next, we have Lady Brooke. Thank you very much. We know that you have the Cancerizing, and we know that oh my God, you're the Celestial Genie. All right. This is actually one of the most legendary sun moon combinations that anyone can ever have. Aqua Moon, Pisces Sun is the advanced, knowledgeable understanding of metaphysics. So you have perhaps some of the most genius capability to experience extrasensory perception. What do I mean by this? Not every Pisces that sees the unseen, knows what they're viewing, and they look super delusional. Someone like you actually understands the knowledge of what it is you're aware of. And so people are still going to look at you like you're super delusional. But the moon in Aquarius means no, you're actually celestial in quality. You actually know what you're seeing, like an alien that's out of this planet. So the reason why people look at you delusional is because you don't know how to communicate it in words. You don't have the Gemini like I do. In fact, Gemini is your 12th house. So it's like you're having to believe. Cancer rising is having to realize you're the priestess. You don't have to explain yourself to people. We live in a super society, a society that knew who you were. People would pay you or literally create a home space for you just to do magic work for them. And this is where you don't want to be that Pisces that's trying to be like Virgo. Like, you're not the explainer, you're the princess, you're the prince. All right, very important. And now that even comes even more true with this transit, because Mercury and Sag is your 6th house. And so you are literally integrating the ascension of your behavior, where at this stage, if we go back 6 months ago, everything that you were trying to show to people, you're ahead of your time. Even if you were to break down these concepts, you're an alien. Like, you're not from here. All right. So now everything that you may have been struggling to put into words, you're going to be showing people now. You're going to be integrating that in your lifestyle. Everything that you changed in your habits to apply to yourself, now you're going to serve and be like, hey, I know this works. It worked for me. Here, let me show you. And this is what you're going to be communicating to people. It's going to really be augmenting the power of how you were aligned with a whole lot of what couldn't be put into words because it wasn't strictly physical. And you're really seeing through so many layers of experience that now, especially with Venus going through your Libra stellium, it's going to balance a lot of the chaos that the Pluto square frustrated. And this is all going to prepare for the 7th house Capricorn, where with that Pluto 29 degrees, you hold everybody accountable. Okay, Priya, you most definitely can Cash App. Feel free. If you're not able to use the app, please go ahead. So yeah, I think you're going to be really excited about this, and congratulations, because it is well deserved. Twin Starseed, this is basically integrating fully how you apply the meaning of what you have pretty much harvested towards changing your lifestyle. And then, of course, the sun will go through there. And now, because this is 10th house to your Pisces sun, your career, you're changing your behavior around your career success and goals, which looks like success to me. It looks like a breakthrough, most definitely. Okay, next we have Christian Sama, King Christian. So Mercury and Sag pull. We're going to pull 3 cards for you. I'm assuming, right? Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. No problem, Twin Star Seed. Your chart is beautiful. It is extraordinarily divine. All right. So Christian Sama, the underlying theme for this Mercury and Sag. If we get an 8 of Wands, you're too psychic. So we do have the King of Swords. Oh my fucking God. The King of Swords is literally Aquarius. So I want you to go type in King of Swords Tarot Tingy. It's spelled like this: King of Swords Tarot Tingy, and read that article, and read the one for the personality. Even though you have the personality of the King of Wands, which is the Leo rising, this is still very. So at the underlying theme, you're a genius. You're at the top of your field. People are going to think you're a know-it-all, but you actually know it all, so they can kick rocks. And this is you being able to objectively and impartially give your expert advice. Don't let anybody ever lil boy you or act like you are not this king. This is the high nobility. Scyther, 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 Scyther. So that's beautiful. So the 3 cards that we have for you is the Page of Cups. All right. These are new emotions This is a new bubbling inspiration towards a craft, towards intuitive abilities. This could even be new romantic feelings, a love letter here and there that leads to the star. Why do we always get lit cards for you, bro? Why do we always pull lit cards for? Is it enough? Is it enough that you were already on TV? We have the star again for you. So this is like Beyonce making the Renaissance album. Like you're cooking up a whole new vibe. Why do we always pull lit cards for you? I don't understand. This is crazy. So this is present, your dream coming true. But this is Aquarius. This is you being the star. This is you granting wishes to others and inspiring others just by being in their presence. All right, Jirachi. And the reason why this is so, Scyther. Shout out to Sensei Mantis. And shout out to Force Fairy Tarot once again for this amazing deck. And that leads into, of course, the Queen of Wands, success in business. So whatever you have been working on, you're going to start to be popping. Star and Queen of Wands is fame. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You've already been on TV. So like this is talking about the confidence. Oh, by the way, this 2 card connections, the Knight and Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands, is soulmate, especially with the star. So this could mean your soulmate, but really I see this as like inspiration, becoming the star, success, popularity, fame. All right. And it doesn't have to be this outrageous household name fame. We already know you out here. All right. The celestials know you, the angels know you. All right. This could be that, but this is just more increased happiness. This is a lot more increased space to do and be you. You know what I'm saying? We have Aisha. Did you? And yeah, so please let me. That's beautiful. I love that we pulled those cards. Let's see. I got the Cash App, but I did not get your chart. So let me see if it got sent to spam. Nah. Did you delete it? Delete it. Did you send it to the Peace Dealer, Priya? I did get Aisha's. Let's do hers right now. And Mashika, please email me your chart. Unless you want a tarot card reading, I'm going to assume you want tarot. If you wanted astrology reading, please email me your sun, moon, or rising or your chart. And then Priya, I don't know if you sent it to the right email because I did not get it in my spam, but we're going to move forward with Ancient Rose. So we do know you got the Leo rising and the North Node Destiny counterpart and the Jupiter embodiment and the God of War embodiment. What does this all have to do with Mercury and Sag? It's going to transit your Neptune. For those of you born in the 80s, especially with Neptune and Sagittarius, Mercury going over your natal Neptune, unlike most other people, is going to enhance the bejesus out of your already existing brain processing visions or intuitive visions. That Mercury will be the brain processing filter to pick up on this ascended intuitive capability that you have. So Neptune in Sagittarius, for all these people born in the 80s, is their ability to just look at things and they will intuitively just sense the meaning of that. Like that's why a Neptune in Sag can just look at 2 people arguing and they're like, yeah, he probably cheated on her last night. And like, there's no way just by seeing that you should know. So you picked up on wisdom beyond the physical to intuit that. You might have seen something. It's an ascended God level ability skill. Cool. So Mercury is going to be the filter with which now this goes through your brain, is going to chart it up. It's going to start a new cycle. And now, because this is your 5th house, Aisha, this is going to really creatively express the strength of how much creatively and talented you're in a position to, as an Aries sun, see the higher philosophical nature of how much more creative you can be. This is going to stimulate so much of your talents that it's going to, with this intuitive guidance, naturally lead to the space to revive your inner child in tandem for the Capricorn transit to integrate this creativity. All right. So you want to have as much fun as you can. Work on a creative project this month. You may already be doing so. Anything that could put you out there as far as taking everything you thought of in June, and now showing others, showing the collective your art, or this could be a period to now establish what it is that brings joy to your heart. Neptune squaring your Neptune. So that square is what's going to, especially relative to other people, show you beyond the meaning of said experiences. And it's going to feel like a super ability that you can have fun with. All right. This is going to help you channel inspirational ideas, especially with the sun going through here. And you have Uranus opposite your Uranus. So this is going to really make more unconventional the quality of said harvest as Venus goes through the nodes in your third house as it'll go over your IC. So the major fifth house portion of this is ninth house to your Aries sun. And this is what's going to show you what direction to take with this budding creativity. The new moon in your fifth house is a new cycle of that creativity, meaning you're changing what new you want to do creatively. And the fifth house doesn't even really have to just be creativity. It's just that midpoint between this comfort zone and, of course, your routine behavior. So I see you as wrapping together a talent, wrapping together your talents. Neptune is involved. And because this trines Mars in your chart, as Mars will catch up and trine, right now it's squaring, this is going to take that intensity within and burst it forward with so much wanderlust. So prepare to really feel a lot more energy. Once again, it's going to be fire. And I'm glad you said house, because you're still coming out of that fourth house energy through Scorpio. Very innovative with the Uranus opposition. It's like a projects, concepts, ideas you've been working on, they're becoming real. The opposition is completing it. All right, redesign, shoulder redesign. I love that. So yeah, the main message here is to be as creative as possible with what it is you're doing and how it is you're doing it. So let's see. Priya, thank you very much. I got 2 emails. And let's see. Anthony Cashman and Mashika, I'm assuming that you want tarot readings. Okay. If you don't, please send me your chart. You said Pisces sun, Taurus rising, ascendant for Anthony, so I can use that. Cool. Taurus rising and Pisces sun is perfect. If you want the sent my hipsy, all right. So Stretchy, did you want the tarot cards or the chart? Okay, if you want the chart, you can email me the chart. That'll help as well. Ancient Rose, a lot of the business planning that's happening when the Capricorn season starts and Mercury retrogrades in Cap and the sun goes through Cap, you're going to start to integrate this business planning towards a routine. This is going to be you literally materializing the routine and really bringing it now more as a part of your lifestyle to now bridge through with other people. Okay. So next we have Lady Mashika. Or next we'll do Priya. So Priya, as far as a love reading, all I can say is that Libra is, or Venus is going out of your 8th house. I don't use interceptions. So even though your ninth, like Libra is intercepted and there's no houses, it is technically still your 9th house. Your 9th house is in Scorpio, but technically using the equal signs or whole, your 9th house is in Libra as a high queen. By the way, your chart is nuts. Your chart is fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna give you this alien construct article. Not you having Uranus exactly on your rising, so you're the embodiment of celestial genius, which means as the high queen, nobody can tell you shit. Priya, we need to talk about it. You are the high queen. Oh, live reading. I got you. Live reading. Thank you. Priya, you are the high queen. Saying this real quick. Uranus on the and then you have 29 degree. Then you have 29 degree Neptune in Capricorn in the 12th house behind. So you just be looking at people, and then you got the Virgo sun on the node. So your destiny, like you're different. You are different. So you are literally the embodiment of celestial claircognizance, and then you're so psychic that you'll just figure stuff out before they even tell you. And then you got the Virgo, so you'll just pull receipts like the magician. No, you're not out here like that. That's wild. So people cannot tell if people talk to you a certain way, they can't. You're the high queen. I'm just saying that your level of genius is so controversial, it will scare people and make them uncomfortable. You represent a reality of awareness that most people do not want to believe is real, and you constantly remind them, no, it's real, baby. No, I'm out here for real goddess, real goddess. Okay. And like Queen Dom, you're also Sag Moon. So you're the ascended critic, the ascended master as High Queen. Because we know you're also a vessel of Hades here as a part of the new generation, you have such extreme understanding of the higher meaning. So the reason why it's cool to be a Sag Moon with the Virgo Sun, all Virgos do is analyze. And see, Virgos be so good at critiquing, they sometimes forget that facts could be an enemy of truth. So just because they can break down and analyze something doesn't mean they know what truly happened. But some Virgos can account for that relative to if they have a moon in Gemini, so they understand the truth of their analysis, or if they have moon in Sagittarius. Moon in Sag Virgos understand the meaning of the analysis. All right. Joe Budden is as a natural critic, Taurus moon. He has his own, he stands on his natural values, and that enables him to basically school people on how to break shit down. You're the ascended God level Virgo, though. So you're analyzing and you immediately understand what this means. That's why it's God level. Cancer signature, High Priestess signature. It's a huge deal. And guess what? Mercury is going to align the way you think with bringing in these receptive understandings and musings. It's going to link your soul with your brain capability, and that extremity of Pluto, where at 11th house from your rising, but 4th house from your sun, is going to change the comfort zone around who you feel should be around you. All right. This is all coming out of your MC, which is in Sag. So this is getting ready to show you, relative to everything you started in February, who is achieving this success with you, who you're going to ride on this arc with and go in 2 by 2, and what rewards from career you're getting ready to accomplish. This is going to show you the conclusion of the higher meaning of everything you've put in work for over the past 6 months. And you really just kind of want to take that data and move in that direction, Capricorn, for how you'll release it. All right, moving forward. So yeah, definitely a lot to look forward to. And because we'll have Venus going through your MC point, this is just going to polish more the success you're already seeing and coming into. And it'll let you know what direction to take that success moving forward as well. All right, Mashika, relationship, career, whatever message stands out. What should I know? So we have the Page of Swords. You're, of course, as an underlying theme of this, Page of Swords is everything that you see, Mashika, is going to give you a new way to look at what you're seeing. All right. So it's like you're coming in this transit with certain preconceived notions, or just the facts of everything that you have been able to analyze. It's what it is. And Mercury in Sagittarius is going to give you different perspectives of your career, of your relationships. It's going to have you approach this like you're studying a new language, like you're approaching it from scratch. And this is going to give you the advantage. The Page of Wands is information without wisdom, but it's also coming into the truth from someone younger than you, or insight in a new way. All right. So this is definitely going to really, oh, okay. So you wanted astrology. Word. So relationships, finance, career, what should I know? We know that as a rising Aqua, you are the embodiment of knowledge. So we see that you are High Queen. And we know that your sun is in Gemini. and moon in Sag. So as High Queen, you are the ascended angel. Bill Burr, Donald Trump, Lauryn Hill. Bill Burr literally roasted an entire crowd of people and they cheered him after because y'all are legit, okay? Roast masters. But the thing here is you see the truth. You're able what and this is beautiful. I just talked about how Virgo is able to, with the Sag moon, instantly see into the meaning of their analysis. Well, Gemini is the complete version of this, where a Gemini with the Sag moon instantly understands the meaning of the truth they see. Not every Gemini that sees the truth or is aware of the truth knows what it means. So a Gemini can know this is true, but they won't always understand what it means. You do. Straight up. And that's why you are the most dangerous Geminis, because you get it instantly as you see it. You don't need to waste the extra time processing and analyzing. And it pisses a lot of people off because you're living lie detector tests and it can look like you're sensitive, but really you're just exposing the truth. Now, relative to now seeing that this is your 11th house, Mercury and the subsequent Venus transit, as Mars and the Sun will go through, are showing you now the relationship that you will understand and see the right friends belong in your life. All right. Unlike the Virgo Sun Aqua rising, who is going to change their comfort zone around who their friends are, for you, this is going to be who you see you can partner with as a part of your friends, how you're going to hold accountable this axis of this stage of belonging, how you're going to really see into the truth of what rewards you're gaining from your career. And that's where the Mercury is going to communicate a lot of your soul reflections. And with the new moon activation, this is going to really push you forward relative to, remember, as a Gemini sun, Sagittarius is our opposite sign. So regardless of house, we're going to be aware of this transit as communicating everything we've harvested towards other people, especially relative to the solar returns we had on our birthday. We're getting ready to take the integrated nature of our attitude and truth blast people. This is us showing. We told in Gemini, now we're showing in Sagittarius. And this is going to, of course, express your word in being able to show people the meaning of that word. And now with your moon here, understanding, whereas other people who don't have their moon here may not have that extra understanding, but because this is so that's the relationships. This is going to show you relationship dynamics that could happen with colleagues. And as Venus eventually moves there, it will open up opportunities to develop, whether through friends that might invite you out or your willingness to connect with people who will unfold. So as far as career, you are coming out of that MC point that with Scorpio is transforming the success with the Scorpio season. And this is just going to kind of consolidate this, clear and return, conclude the transit for you and prepare you moving forward to, of course, releasing Capricorn and then relaunch again during Aquarius season. It's nice to see you have Saturn in Capricorn. Shout out to Goat Squad, because now Saturn in Pisces is sextiling your Saturn. And Saturn in Pisces is blossoming the final part of this activation. And now that it's going direct, you're going to also start to see your powers blossoming. Shout out to Saturn and Cap. Our powers are blossoming. After we're done blossoming, then the Saturn Aqua, they're going to blossom during Saturn Aries. Then Saturn Pisces is going to blossom during Saturn Taurus. So that's the final part of activation where we start to see the effects of the God power and karma that we return. All right. So next we have Anthony Cashman. I did not get your chart, Anthony. I don't know if it just didn't send. I didn't get it in the spam, but you did say that your sun is in Pisces. Okay. Venus with Sun at Pisces, Sun and Venus with Capricorn moon and Taurus rising. All right, perfect. So as a Taurus rising, congratulations, bro. And I love that you have the Pisces sun, because you're already aware of this karmic totality and maelstrom of imagination storm that's working through you. Neptune's been in your sign, and that Neptune connection, any other Pisces suns can literally co-sign. You guys are directly in tune with the astral. You're drawing like a genie from the realm of imagination. And it's just, it's like the Neptune going through your sign is like a Wi-Fi hub. that just connects you so much more directly to the spirit realm or whatever you want to call it. But Taurus rising gang, bro, your 11th house sun, so you are the OG of your social circle. And we are going through a new cycle of evolution. All right, Jupiter is debuting us. It's revisiting 2011, the last 12-year cycle, and we're reinstating, we're passing go, we're collecting 200. But the cool thing is Uranus is here. Uranus wasn't here the last time. So 2011, when this went through our rising, we collected 200. Now that Uranus is here, we're collecting 20,000, not 2,000, 20,000. Exponential growth. Okay. And this is going to give you a huge boost. And of course, prepare you for the second house Gemini Jupiter next year. That's going to add to your value. All right. So I love that you also have a cat moon, because this is also going to represent the awakening of our souls with Pluto. And this is where now that Sagittarius transit will transform your dealings with others. And as a Pisces sun, it's going to transform your belief around what success you are seeing in your career. So this is going to transform your career success. Now, what's very important here is that the Mercury transit will discern through what you're seeing in your dealings with other people who you can trust with your ideas. Second house Gemini, our word is our value. So who can you trust with your ideas that you're showing them? This is going to let you know who's taking away from career success and who's adding to your career success. And it's once again very, very beautiful, because relative to how powerfully you're developing, you're going to see major breakthrough. I'm a cartoonist, super confident social person, mastery multitasker, according to himself, and very ambitious with the heart of gold. Help me understand how I can temper my self-importance to a degree where I at least help other people in ways they either don't see as coming as being helpful, or helps negotiate the betterment of our own worlds. If you're a projector, you don't even need to help other people. They should come to you, knowing that no one is either truly unique. See, you're the ascended master as a Pisces, natural king, and you are now the incredible genie, all right? The director ascended being, right? But the thing is, bro, you don't need to, people need your help, but they need to ask you for that help first. So you don't need to temper your self-importance. You did that already. You are evolving your sense of self to the next level, and you're harvesting all the work that you've put into ground that. Okay. I always get criticized for basically being myself while self-improving if you're psychic enough. And that's because people fear what they don't understand. And you are in the antisocial quadrant, bro, Pisces and Taurus. So you are meant to challenge a lot of social norms and conventions, which is putting you more into that opportunity to break through accordingly. But the good thing you need to know about this is the work is done. You're getting ready to evolve how much more quality you express. And it's not that you need to temper your self-importance. It's that all you're going to do is complete this first house transit that's going to strengthen the quality of what approach you take as you blossom more of these abilities. And you have a lot to look forward to as well, especially with the North Node coming out your 12th. That's going to get rid of any doubt as you unlock your personality, or a lifestyle rather, that will facilitate a lot of this, okay, for you. So it looks like the last one we have is Paris Richmond. All right. I got a chart from Gabe. I'm not sure what that's for yet, but we do see Lady Paris. I know. There we go. So we know that you got the late Libra rising. We know that you got Moon and Chiron and Venus at the end of your rising in the DC. Oh my God. Yeah, you got, I love your chart. And then you got Jupiter right on your sun. Jupiter sun. Be careful about Jupiter suns, guys. All right. Um, wait, did you get the Gabe one is for Jesse? No, I don't think I got it. Let me see. Oh, the Gabe one is for Jesse. You know what? Yeah, I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. Let me see. Jesse, yours is the one I did first. Okay, lady, if you click the description box below, you will see the prices. So Jesse, please rewind. Yours is the one I did first. I just didn't have your rising, so I just did it based on your sun and moon. But yeah, please let me know if you can find that one because I did yours first. Okay. Yeah, let me know if let me know what you think about it too and your feedback. But yeah, so Paris, we know that you're already going through a Jupiter return, and this is going to even add more to the quality you're just blessing other people with. But what we want to look at is the North Node. The South Node is over your Chiron, Venus, and the Moon. So all the preparation is ready for you to step into the most extraordinary partnerships that you will sponsor. The Jupiter had to evolve your DC, and on the North Node had to align it with destiny. We had the eclipse in Libra, so you're in that 6-month arc to make it back to April. Boom, the official partnerships that because Venus is here, we will see some romantic love. We will see some romantic love. I strongly believe it. There is going to be some element of fated partnerships here. And so we're at the road to this. You got Uranus opposite your sun. So you may kind of rub people the wrong way because you're a genius and they're not. Anyone who's stupid will be rubbed the wrong way because they're expecting to put you in a box and they don't know why they can't because they're dumb. That's why. So this is going to really help you break through even further beyond that. This in your second house is going to manifest an ascended protocol of how your visualization and intuition brings more value. And this is cool because it connects directly to the Aries power. And this is where you'll be feeling basically you're going to be manifesting a higher perspective and seeing the meaning. This is what you're going to have. And you're going to apply that perspective towards seventh house Aries. You're going to feel, oh, okay, I see this. This is how I should direct myself towards others. It's going to really adjust over the next few months, starting now, what perspective will have you approach your dealings with other people. And it's also going to transform the quality of your relationships because of how you're applying this perspective and seeing more that might have been passed up before. All right. Shout out to Danielle. Okay. So that's one element. Venus is still coming out of your 12th house as well. So once this immediately goes into Scorpio at the end of this transit, coming into like December and conjuncts Uranus, this is another impetus after the opposition to your Aries Venus that, especially square Saturn and now Pluto, will really around this period change considerably the dynamics. It's like, let's say in a few months, you're going to enter very key partnerships if they haven't already started. And this transit is going to start to open the door into showing you how these partnerships are going to start to form ahead of time. All right. It's also going to open up the opportunity for you to make a lot of money and to really trust who you invest said money into. Okay, Lady D, I got you. All right. And okay, I see you wanted a tarot, right? Did you, Lady D, you did ask for a card. So did you want a card or did you want astrology? Please let me know. But Paris, yes, your chart is active right now. Pluto's opposite your Saturn. The nodes are all on your DC and Moon and Venus. Jupiter is returned for you. So you yourself are this hub that's sponsoring and putting people on and feeling where to be at the right place at the right time. And once again, this Sagittarius transit is going to really show you the higher capability of what direction you could take with this. And I think it's going to be very fruitful for money, especially for you too. All right. Oh yes. Shout out to your dog.
I forgot that was yours that I channeled. I love that. I love that. I love that. And yes, I'm so grateful for the readings we've had. You're such a blessing. And I really do want to kind of move that through. Like just you showing up and being present with people adds to the quality of that. And you're going to see at a greater level how much more it does, how yesterday's price is in today's price. And that's, once again, going to reinforce the direction you take towards other people. Okay. So, Lady D, let's do a little bit of both. We know that you have the Scorpio sun and your moon in Sag. So, you're going to be feeling all through this transit. And I love this because the new moon just activated this new cycle. So, Sagittarius relative to your sun is, of course, money. So, this is going to have you be very aligned with how much more you shift your perspective around your value, around what you're worth. But I think it's less about just seeing the perspective and actually coming into even more money, especially relative to any investments you made 6 months ago. This is really just going to return on that. It's even cooler because you have your rising in Sagittarius, and this is also going to be a Mercury return. So, in assessing this nature of value, this is what you'll wrap your mind around identifying with two, coming out of the 12th house and getting ready to restart this first house chapter by embodying with this nature of ascension, of course, which has long since progressed past Capricorn. But this is going to be like a resurgence. Now, you do have Uranus on your Mercury. So this is what's going to add a much more unconventional dynamics. But what I think is cool is you have Saturn 0 degrees, which Saturn is squaring right now. And that's what's going to anchor more of this, where it's going to change people's perceptions. You're going to have so much more control over the psychic, metaphysical experiences you're coming into, especially as a 12th house Scorpio. I love that y'all, every time I've pulled cards for Danielle, I keep on pulling psychic type Pokemon cards. And like 12th house Scorpio sun is legendary psychic energy, right? We pulled Mew, the legendary, first time. So we have the 7 of swords again. And this is going to be you exposing frauds, exposing people who lie to themselves and try to lie to you. I feel like coming out of this season, people have tried to kind of not tell you everything, kind of, look like something is a certain way, but they have ulterior motives and they don't know that you already felt it. You didn't even need to know exactly what it was. And this is going to show you what it is. All right. So we do have the 10 of cups. This could also be you moving strategically and not playing your hand, but we do have another psychic Pokemon. I love how I keep pulling psychic type Pokemons for you. It's so mind blowing. So we do have bliss and emotional fulfillment. We do have new sparks. This is the Sagittarius new spark of energy. This is coming out as a Scorpio 12th house bliss, and this is going to inspire a new self-definition. Uranus on Mercury is going to give you the most radical, unconventional idea, and this leads into the Knight of Pentacles. Stability. So this is literally 12th house Scorpio, Sagittarius first house, second house Capricorn, immediately being able to monetize and stabilize whatever it is you move forward with. But I think the 7 of swords is you might not be able to tell anybody this. You may not be able to share too much. Like there could be people who try and get in the way. It's not going to stop you. But the 7 of swords is, if anything, saying to apply necessary discernment and strategy. You guys stay blessed as always. This was another dub stream. I'm definitely very grateful for each and every single one of you. And yeah, catch us next time. I think I'm going to do a peace talk tomorrow. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited to unlock this God vision. And it's time to show people what we've always been made of.